Okay, Shanika, you can start.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Shweta ma'am, and good evening, Rashmi Tyagi ma'am. We are
Okay.
we are very great. We are very grateful for your effort, ma'am, for us. Okay, right? Today our host is Anusha teacher. Anusha, are you okay? She works in Vidwan Free School, that in Uva province. Anusha teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Ayubowan, Vanakkam, Namaste, and a very good day to everyone. I am Nisha Ranasinghe from Monaragala in Nuvu province, Sri Lanka. Today I am your host on behalf of the International Association for Quality Education. The International Association for Quality Education is a non-profit international organization working with educators across the global society to enhance the quality of education and contribute to achieving the sustainable development goals. The international project for capacity development in education has been implemented alongside the International Conference Series on Quality Education. The international project services as a platform for education professionals to share best practices, research findings, and experiences with all stakeholders in the field of education. Additionally, the report acts as a vital learning space for young education to gain new knowledge and growth as professionals in the education sector. Today we are honored to have a very special speaker with us, Ms. Shivatra Batra ma'am from India. Today she will discuss the topic of skill of distressless teachers. I believe it will be a very engaging and topic for all us. First of all, I would like to invite into Sri Lanka education ambassador for Dr. Dr. Rashmi Tyagi ma'am. I would like to invite you to introduce today's speaker.
Hello. Am I visible?
Yes.
Yes. Welcome everyone on this very, I can say, familiar platform, wonderful platform. And the people are so close to each other. And that is very natural because the whole world is one. I always say that for the education, there are no geographical boundaries. And I feel so happy right now that we are going to interact with each other. And today we are going to come with extraordinary topic by an extraordinary teacher. Her journey as told by her. I'm going to tell you that at first, all of us educationists are teachers and we contribute to the teaching fraternity and to the children, to the society, to the world. We contribute by teaching and imparting the knowledge. And in this journey, we also learn lot. And I always say it is a sharing of knowledge. And today, Shweta Batraji, she is not only a teacher, but she is the psychologist. She has done her studies, masters in psychology, and she has worked as principal and so many other things. So that also I will tell you later on. But today I want to say that we are really very fortunate to have her here today, because she is going to tell us that how we can be de-stressed, because stress has become a problem in today's world. And I don't want to talk much now, and I want to hear her, and I've introduced you to a great educator, teacher, a principal, and a trainer. And there are so many things which I think that she is doing. So I'll start. Shwetaji, could you please start your wonderful, things you are going to tell us today? Okay. Thank you so much for your
Hello,
presence.
hello, and a very good evening to everyone. Thank you, Rashmiji, for giving me this opportunity and for the very beautiful words that you just tried to bring my introduction through. It's I feel a lot of gratitude towards the same. Thank you so much. And before we go around with other things, I would want you all to listen as well as see the screens so that we are able to communicate well and get through with what we are trying to or striving to get through. The topic that I've taken today is from stressful to stress-free, mastering the skill. Now, first and foremost, I would like to say is that if I say stressful, I think this word is not anything which is not known to anyone. Today, when a small child says, oh, I feel stressed. So this is something which seems to be a common scenario. Through this presentation, I'll try to bring about a few aspects where a few little bit of tweaking in ourselves and little bit of our change in approach can help us develop this skill. I do not assure that this 1 hour can bring the skill, because skill is something which comes over a long period of time. But yes, adapting to these practices that I have myself tried and tested and tried to put it on this, so that we are able to live an easy life or live at ease in life. That's what I would say. So before I begin, I would like to congratulate each and every audience person, because I believe they are all teachers, and I congratulate you to have taken up this noble profession, because I believe we are all nation builders. I would like to give a warm welcome to every person who has joined the session, because each teacher is a nation builder and has a major contribution in building the nation. With these words, we also come to realize it's a very huge responsibility. My endeavor is to share and make others' lives productive and peaceful and progressive. And likewise, I learn, I make my life better, more progressive and more peaceful. This is my endeavor. So let's dive into ourselves, because if we are stressed, it is we who are stressed, and it is we who have the challenge, and it is we who have to overcome the challenge. So to do that all, we need to introspect in ourselves. So let us all start by answering the question to ourselves, who are we? So I'm sure by now everyone would have said, we are teachers. But I would want to believe that we are one person who has multiple roles to perform. Yes? Each one of you is a wife, a mother, a daughter, a friend, colleague, neighbor, and above all, teacher. When you are a teacher, you are already a mother to many children, you are a counselor to many children, you are a friend to many children, you are an agony aunt to many children. So we cannot define our roles. Likewise, the same thing, if there are male teachers, we have to have those roles of being a son, a brother, a father, a husband, etc., etc., etc. So the roles that we are dealing, or the roles that we are living every single day, comes in with countless duties, responsibilities, and much more. Can you only say, jot down ki, okay, if I'm a daughter, this is my duty? We can never define or restrict ourselves. It is n number of countless things that we carry ourselves with. And at the same given time, when I talk to you, I am a daughter, I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a friend, I am a colleague. And each of these roles come with a lot of responsibilities. And there is where automatically we need to have a perfect balance. And when there is a little bit of imbalance, what is the result? We get a lot of stress. And when we are having these stress, we are all social beings, right? We interact with each other. We talk to many different people, some known, some unknown. Today, I'm talking to you all who are not at all known to me, but I'm sure we should be friends soon. So looking at that, we have a lot of emotions. Like today, I'm very happy and content that I'm sharing something with my friends around the globe. This is a very positive emotion. But since we are talking about stress, I would try and highlight the negative emotions that we encounter, or we undergo, or we experience. I'm sure each one of us at some point in time have had this sense of embarrassment where something has gone wrong. Even if our one picture doesn't come clear in a group, we start feeling embarrassed. Oh, my eyes were shut and it didn't come out well. Start feeling bad. Of course, it depends on person to person how we take each and every episode of our life and how seriously we go about contemplating it, right? Then we also have this thing of tension, right? Morning, if you get up at 6, if it is 6:05, 6:10, the first thing happens is, oh my God, I am late. I don't know how I will cover up these 10 minutes. So we can build up tension in ourselves at any given point in time. We have unfulfilled desires. Like, for instance, if I would say that last academic year, I had decided that I would save so much money and I would buy this particular, very expensive silk sari. But somehow things didn't work out and I didn't buy. So that's like an unfulfilled desire in me, right? So these are again some emotions which I tell you lead you to stress. I'll navigate through the entire process. There is fear at any given point of time. Today, the things are so scary. Even when you cross the road, you are scared. That fear has taken a free rental space in our heads, right? Then anger. I believe all of us have experienced this emotion, and there is a reason why I have put it in red. Discontentment. You are expecting a promotion, you are expecting some better standard or class, and you didn't get it, so you are discontent, dissatisfied, you're disappointed. And many a times we have this innate thing of having a jealousy. Now, if we move this jealousy as an inspiration or as a, you want to make it competitive, then it works differently. But at the same time, if we let jealousy remain as jealousy, it works very differently on our minds. Am I clear with all these things? Now, if we live up with all those negative emotions, what does happen to us is that we start feeling mentally fagged out. We feel so not up to the mark. We don't feel like doing anything. We are also tired in our minds that any small work also, if it's given to us, we feel now this is too much. Now then we start flaring up. Slowly, when we start having this mental fatigue, it works on our performance, and then we are not performing as well. And we tend to introspect and we start losing our own confidence. We start believing that, oh my God, I'm losing out on my confidence, and automatically we are losing on our self-worth and self-esteem, and we are reducing our output. Again, when we see our performance is reducing, we are unable to perform the way we were performing, we further get mentally fagged out, we further lose our confidence, we further this thing. So it's a vicious cycle, it's a continuous cycle, how we ourselves invite all these things into our mind and we go ahead. When we do all these things, I'll very quickly go to the physical aspects that are, which when you have been stressed, these are the areas when you look at your physical state where you would have already encountered with either a recurrent acidity issue, recurrent headache, you are losing appetite. It all changes from, is all different. These are all manifestations or results of stress, and every person reacts differently to stress. So somebody may start having hair loss, or may start, having some chronic disease, BP and etc. Similarly, mentally, we may always be very anxious. We feel depressed. We are under stress. We are restless. And obviously, when we have all these physical and mental problems, we slowly get disconnected, or people start disconnecting with us. Because if every time I'm going to get bugged, every time I'm going to sound stressed, every time I'm sounding negative, people do not want to connect with us then, right? And they would not want to connect with me. So slowly, I get isolated. Slowly, there's a relationship stress, and which results in arguments. So whenever we have these negative emotions, these are the areas that are basically affecting us, right? All these things, don't you think, becomes more stressful to everyone, right? We are all social beings. We want positive emotions, right? Let's come back to April 2020, where March 2020, April 2020, where the pandemic we were into COVID, and we were all starting to take our classes online. Yes, teachers, do you remember that time? And we had our challenges of technology, we have our challenges of time, we had our own personal challenges, some person falling sick. We were all stressed. There was an entire, like what you call, an air of stress around us and tension, correct? Same thing, April 2021, we were all settled. We knew how to, we navigated that way through, and we could send emails comfortably, we could take online sessions comfortably, we could attend online session continuously, we could do everything that was needed. There was almost a year and we were all by it. But the difference between April 2020 and the difference between April 2021 was, there we were very stressed because we didn't know what to do, why to do, where to do, how to do. So technically, if you go to see, it was our lack of competence, our lack of skill that made us stressful. Through the year, we learned it and we mastered the skill, and same thing started feeling to be simple and easy, right? So the basic problem is that overthinking, which causes unhappiness. You were taking online classes before also, you were taking online classes after also. But in the before state, we were overthinking. How will we go about? How will be this thing? What if my net doesn't work? What if my PPT doesn't present? What is this? What that? We keep on overthinking and we were all stressed and unhappy. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation. Mind you, the situation was the same. We were teaching online, but the situation is not, it was not the situation, it was our thoughts that kept us in a different mindset altogether. Yes? Now, if I would quickly look at it, the main causes of stress, if you look at a bigger picture, not at the micro level, it is lack of job security, the workload that we have, the people's issue, that is a social, and juggling between the personal and professional lives, right? These are the main stressors if you look at the bigger picture. Now, stress is your physical reaction, physical and mental response or reaction. My dear audience, it is our physical and mental response to the reactions. It is nothing else. That's why you must have seen that many a times a given situation, one person is very relaxed and the other person is sweating and is so worried. It is because both of them have a different way to respond or to react to the changes that are happening or to the challenges that one is encountering. For instance, if in a school, the management is changing, Some people are very stressed. Some people feel, "Hame kya hai? We have to just come, do our work and go." So it's all about our response and our reaction to things. Now also, there is something which I would say is that there is always a flip side of stress. It's not that stress is always negative. It's also can be positively used in your life. How? Because stress can keep us alert. For instance, if you know that there is some inspection or observation happening, that day you are very stressed, but you know that things cannot go wrong. So you are literally on your toes, all alert, and you're so alert that in case there is certain contingency that comes up, you are sharp enough to get a remedy or a solve to it, right? But at the same time, if I sit and just overstress and overthink, I'm unable to remedify those things, right? It can keep us motivated and ready. For instance, we are given deadlines. By this day, the report cards have to be ready. The point is, oh yeah, okay, we have these many days. Let's kind of do it. Let me break it, slot it. By this time, the paper correction will be done. By this date, the results will be done. And by this time, I would have checked all my work. So this can keep us motivated and keep us ready as well. It also helps us avoid danger or maybe some unforeseen things. For instance, as I related about the result thing, final year, when the final semester, the paper correction and result, this thing. So you have kept things in ready. You want to say, just in case you have had some health emergency or some emergency in this thing, since you have kept things ready in time, probably you can also attend to those challenges or emergencies. Stress helps you work harder and longer. Why? Because if I have a deadline, I would want to finish it before that. So maybe putting in half an hour of extra time in the day makes you work harder and you feel better, right? Now, what is the real problem? Is the exposure to increased level of daily stressors. Now, as I said, we have this acidity, diabetes, and BP, and all those physical and mental and emotional problems. It does not happen with just one stressful day or one stressful event. If you are exposed to high level of stresses every single day, and how has been your response to those high level stress is what is the real problem. So there are two things. A, you need to be prepared and try to keep yourself away from such heavy stressors, and at the same time try and control your reaction to such stressors so that you do not feel stressful. So stress makes a person organized to a disorganized or confused person. So it's all our choice how we use it, whether we use it positively or we go overboard overthinking and make ourselves disorganized. Now, here we will see what are the major stressors in every teacher's life. And I'm sure it is true globally. When we are having to prepare for our classes, we prepare for our resources, whether it is technology resources, or if it is resources or teaching aids, whatever it could be, the classroom. There are many resources in the classroom. We need to keep our assessments. We keep on having regular assessments. We have to keep a lot of records for our students. We have to keep, if we are science teachers, we keep our laboratories, our equipments ready. If we are geography teacher, we keep our maps and the globes and all those teaching aids ready. If we have to do, obviously, we have to do corrections of notebook. After that, we prepare exam papers. Then we correct those exam papers. Again, correct the notebooks. So this is an ongoing thing. These are the common day-to-day life things, preparing and getting approval of question papers, preparing students for inter-school, intra-school competitions. That is another additional thing that we have to do, because after all, it's the name of our school that must go higher. We have lots of celebrations of festivals, annual days, sports day, and all field trips. Everything needs a lot of planning, execution, and this all duties are apart from the content that you deliver in class. Then the basic behavioral challenges that you are encountering in the school day to day. Then you are a member to many committees in the school. Then you also prepare. You are also working on the PTMs. There are all, and this is just a very small list. I think this is an extensive list of duties that we as teachers perform, right? Now, We have to, how to manage our stress. We have to manage ourselves, right? Outside world is going to be, we can do is what is the circle of our control, right or wrong? So now we'll try to see how we can go. Nowadays it's always like that, no, vision version 2 or 2.0, 2.0. So we'll also try to have a 2.0 version of ourselves, or rather I would say is every single day we must compete with our own selves rather than competing with the world, and try to better our own selves every single day. So I'm sure we as teachers, we project and demonstrate the following that I'm going to show, but I would want to highlight this because we often, keep it at a back seat, and we must project it in front because we are nation builders. Our students are constantly watching us. So when we talk of honesty, we need to be pretty much honest in the class, go well prepared. And if there is something that a student has asked and we do not know, we must put it up front rather than covering up ourselves. We must be honest and say that, okay, child, I'm unaware of this. I would get back to you once I am through it. So it's no point, no harm being honest on that. Or in any point in time, it's best to be listening. We are the fortunate crowd, I would say, of fortunate professionals, because we, under every circumstances, are fortunate to deal with man, whether it is child, whether it is parent, whether it is our seniors, whether it is our colleagues, whether it is our management. We are fortunate we don't have to sit in front of the laptop and work. We are dealing every day with children. We are dealing every day with parents. We don't have to deal with machines. So this is something which is very important, but at the same time, if the machines don't feel bad of what we speak, but yes, human beings feel. So it's always best to have the sweetest possible words stepping out of our mouth so that we are not hurtful to anyone and respectful to everyone. At every given point in time, we cannot afford to be irresponsible, right or wrong. We have a huge crowd of students waiting for us. Where we complete our duties, it's only then that their learning happens. We need to be forgiving. Yes, there are children who sometimes manage to spoil your class flow. But we need not keep that as a tag or a taboo in our minds. Sometimes we are unable to deal with those students because we lack the skill in dealing with them. So what is important first is just take it that it's a child who's playing the mischief, and try to be forgiving and try to see how you can help the child come out of that mischievous nature. We need to be disciplined because we cannot function. Our morning to night would go upside down if we are not disciplined. Right from our wardrobe to our kitchen to our school to our staff room, everything has to be disciplined. And if there is a chaos in all these areas, there's going to be a chaos in our lives. Being polite, yes, I always believe it's best to be polite. As I say, we are the fortunate ones dealing with man and not machines. And kind, of course, without saying. Now, taking account of all these characteristics in ourselves, which was just a refresher, I would also want you to take account of your own self. We always say, na, I, me, and myself. It's very important to be a little selfish, to be selfless. Only when I am fit and fine that I can do my duties, my job, my functions well, right? So we need to take account of our own selves. So as teachers, please take good care of yourself when it comes to food. We tend to cook food for the entire family, but sometimes mistaking our own tiffin and land up eating some fast food item which is available in the school canteen, which is not good, which happens many a times. We need to take care of our looks as well, that we shouldn't feel that if somebody is telling you what happened, you look very tired. Probably you have not had your enough rest, which you definitely need to. For that, again, it's very important to take time out for yoga, walking, exercise, meditation, whatever is your form. Now, here often teachers say that where is the time? I always believe in telling the story of the woodcutter, where there were two woodcutters. Both would come in at 9 o'clock, walk out at 5 o'clock from the forest, but one would land up cutting much more of wood than the other. The difference between the two was not the time. The difference between the two was that one, the first one who cut more would land up taking half an hour rest and taking half an hour out to resharpen his axe so that he can efficiently cut the wood in the second half. So that break to be efficient is extremely important. So we must take into account our own selves. Similarly, we need to learn to develop patience. This is something which is running out of the globe. It's eradicating, but we need to do it. And the simplest way is deep breathe. Have the willpower कि you are going to develop the patience that is needed to be a good human being, not a part. And this is not true only with teachers. This is true with every human being. Social self, we need to remember the fact, I myself as a teacher gave up on many of the functions that happened in the family, in the little bit of far family fetched, because my duties were calling me. But I believe that was wrong. And we need to really keep ourselves in balance with our personal front as well as our professional front. And striking that balance happens when we keep ourselves physically and emotionally well in state, right? And though we are not celebrities, you can't imagine the number of eyes that are on us because our students look up to us as role models. So we are being watched all the time. So we ought to be at our best. And this includes our social media habits. Now, let's try and rebuild ourselves. We need to ascertain our values. If there are certain principles and certain values, given circumstances, if they go against your systems and your values, you must disconnect or not go into that. Reason being, if we go against our principles and values, this is what makes us stressed. It gives us a lot of pressure, anxiety. Commit to self-improvement. As I just stated, you must invest in your physical and mental health. Stretch yourself a little bit. Don't try to say that I am tired. It's okay to stretch. As I said, if we have given that half an hour to sharpen our axe and half an hour to take a small nap, we have that bandwidth to stretch ourselves for the betterment. Practice what you preach. We as teachers are the best preachers, and I wish and want and really have seen most of the teachers practice what they preach. And stay in good company, because negative people can make your life absolutely stressful without your knowledge. So it's extremely important to see, after you have met somebody and you feel a bit stressed, you need to be very aware of yourself, how you feel, how is your breath, is it calm, or are you taking deep breath, or are you getting restless? And at that point in time itself, you can just try and judge what are the triggers. What is that is giving you calm? Is it the good music? What is that is giving you the irritation? Is it the loud metallic music? Or is it the wrong person who's speaking all negative and bogging you down? So these aspects are extremely important. If we can bring this all together in our regular practice, we have started working on de-stressing our own selves. The other second important thing is to manage our own time, which is always a problem. Each of us have 24 hours, but there are times when we do not know what to do because there are too many things to do. So the best thing is learn to prioritize, for which you yourself have to know the importance of the tasks. You need to know the time that each task is going to take. You should know what is the delivery that is expected from you. Only then that you can go from the action plan to do first, to do next, to delegate or don't do, or to do it later. For this ourselves, we have to be in knowledge of things. Otherwise, our plans will go, and it doesn't come just like that. We need to slowly start practicing this priority table or this chart, and slowly we can master it and eventually start getting lesser and lesser stressed. As a teacher, when you're in class, we go to class to teach a chapter and we think we are going to complete this much as part of it. But the moment you enter, you are like, teacher, this one hit me and this one did that and this one tore my notebook and this one pulled my pencil, and you have all those things coming up. So if you have a 30 minutes lecture, 7 minutes have gone into that or 5 minutes have gone into that. If you have not maintained a buffer 100%, you will not be able to complete the targeted concept or the portion that you have thought for. So it's best to keep a buffer always when you plan. Know your content very well. See, content is not a question today with children. Everything is available online. So you need to be a master. And as I said, give that stretch a bit. I just said it some time ago. Stretch yourself a little bit to master the content so that the energy with which you give out that lecture the students will also absorb it accordingly. Third thing is know your students well. To understand them, know the strength of the weak students. Give extra hours. Now there is know your students. Pehle to, it's very important for you to know your students by name. Once you know them by name, you have connected. Only after you have connected that they are going to have that action and interaction happening. We have to understand them, not see that he or she is being naughty or mischievous. We need to understand why he or she is being naughty or mischievous. There is always an underlying reason behind the child's misbehavior or the naughty behavior, if I would say. Know the strength of weak students. Now, this is something which can help students become stress-free. Now, every time in the class, a child who is performing a little lesser knows that internally, and that stresses him a lot. What you need to do is highlight his or her strength. For instance, a child is not very good in bringing out answers or reading, but has a beautiful handwriting. So know that strength. Try to bring that to positive use to help him or her overcome his weaknesses. Give some extra time to your students. I tell you why. Physically, you may feel tired. You say, ma'am is saying, okay, give extra time. We don't have time. But the happiness, the contentment that we get despite being tired, we are tired, yet we give that extra hours to our students. The way we rest in peace when we sleep is at another level. I'm sure you all agree. So giving those extra hours will not make you stressful. You gain the root into their lives, and then it's all about it. It's all about creating or establishing that connect with your child or your children or your students, however you address them. And life is much simpler. Be professional. That is again one more thing. Don't mix up personal life. Use the time productively. Avoid staff room politics. Yes, I'm sure whoever is reading the slides as I speak, you have all seen the spelling of politics wrong. This is where I go to. The reason why I put this is because we often try to find errors and mistakes in other rather than looking at the positive aspects of things. So we must try and use, if we have got an extra free period, we must try and use it productively in seeing how we could prepare charts, how we could do our corrections, how we could skill ourselves by reading an extra book, a few pages. Be prepared for contingencies. So for instance, you have 2 free lectures today and you said you're going to do this bit of notebook correction, and all of a sudden you get a proxy or you get some extra responsibility. Don't stress. You must be prepared for it. See, you have to give the proxy. So why give it in a stressed or a bugged manner? Better is to go with the flow of things. Also, Be willing to accept your shortcomings. For instance, I have a problem in, say, probably speaking English. I should accept it and then try and get help from my colleagues, try and gain guidance from my seniors, and try and overcome it rather than trying to get stressed about, oh my God, I can't, I'm not good at English, so I avoid speaking and I won't present my thoughts. This gives us a lot of stress. And afterwards we feel, Arey, I had such a good idea, but I didn't say. It makes you feel further low at esteem, right? Be helpful with the areas that you're good at, and each one of us are so best is, abhi in the staff room, in the this thing, by now we know our friends, we know our colleagues, we know somebody is good in computers, somebody is good in drawing, somebody is good in dance. Have a barter system. Sometimes she can help you, sometimes you can help that person, and try and see how we can ease out each other's life. Accept that teaching happens only when students learn. Many a times we say, I to gave 3 lectures to this concept and students have not written anything in the unit test. Why? It happens. Why? Because students are not learning. Why? Because teaching has happened, but students have not learned. So try to understand that students learn until that time our teaching hasn't happened. So it's extremely important to take short breaks and assess. If the teaching learning isn't happening, we go back to what we have started with and try and re-emphasize on the concept so that students learn rather than just completing our tasks. Trust me, when we see our students not performing in the assessments, it stresses a lot. But the major reason is that we haven't assessed periodically or in a timely manner. Be willing to take responsibility of your work rather than pushing the burden to somebody. If there is a mistake, own up to it rather than hiding it or trying to, cover it up. It's best to be honest, accept it, you will be stress-free. Take the best of all your experience and leave no opportunity to learn, especially study about child psychology. Because as I said, we deal not with machine, but with man, and interacting with man or social beings is something which needs to be updated, upgraded all the time so that we are able to skill ourselves, so that we are able to understand, have empathy for the other person, and try to be in his or her shoes and try to resolve others' problems. Right? Also, I believe that the classroom is the best teaching place and students are the best resources. So we can use our student resource as resources in the classroom and teach a lot of concepts. Right now, I do not have the time to go dive into all that, but skills like leadership, critical thinking, see, content is one aspect, but more important to give an holistic or an all-round development to the student is we need to see that we give them enough opportunities where the child develops leadership skill, where he is left to think critically, to solve problems, to take decisions. Give them just examples. For instance, you have gone somewhere to even fetch a bread and you have carried, say, 50 rupees and the bread is costing 55. Now, what will you do? How would you solve this problem? Let them try to think, how can they go about it? There's no wrong and right. It's all about allowing them to think that they will be able to come into making decisions. We need to give them lot of ample opportunities in the school surroundings so that they develop civic sense, become environmentally aware. All this can be done only when we explore or give them the platform to explore these areas. They cannot be taught through a chapter. These have to be given experiences. So giving them sheltered experiences allows them to develop their skills. Now, coming back to emotions, there is one common negative emotion or reaction which all of us very easily experience. Any guesses? I'm sure you have come to the right one. You will all say angry, right? Now, I want us to understand what is angry mean or what is anger mean. Anger is when angry, we are totally convinced that some people are put on this planet just to test my anger management skills. You will all be smiling at this point in time because there is always one such person in school, maybe student, maybe teacher, maybe somebody who is there for this. Yes? Anger is never without a reason, right? हमको तो लगता है अरे मुझे गुस्सा नहीं आएगा, I not get angry. We are always having a reason, but seldom it is a good reason, right? We have to agree. If we look back very honestly, this is something which we all will agree. Sometimes some of us have that, humor kind of style where it is anger with makeup. मतलब बोलते हैं ना, हंसते हंसते बोल दिया. In a joke, we have conveyed what we wanted to say. But it is actually anger. And a sense of humor is God's antidote to anger and frustration. तो एक ह्यूमर रहता है तो हमारे को एंगर एंड फ्रस्ट्रेशन से दूर रखते हैं. So basically, anger is to be summed up into all these things. Now, one thing which is very true is change in our attitude can alter the altitude at which we are. If we are here, we change our attitude, we can rise in our altitude. And I tell you how. Every time you get angry or upset or stressed, ask yourself, if you were to die tomorrow, was it worth wasting your time on being angry? And 100% the answer will be no. So drop the anger. Am I right? Yes or no? Of course, I'm not saying that we have to always think of that, but we have to always put our minds and think that is it really worth our time? Because when we are angry, we are boiling our own blood, which is wasted. Also, I am sad. When we are angry, we say I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm disappointed. But you know what? I'm going to put on a smile and move on. It will hurt, but I will survive. This is something like a mission or the power to develop resilience within ourselves, that we must learn to face the situation and not allow the situation to make us. Because it has made us angry, the situation has made us angry, so we are angry. Because the situation has made us laugh, we have laughed. We are not puppets. We must try to be the master of our own selves. Benefits of laughter is nothing diffuses anger and conflict faster than the shared laugh. Looking at the funny side of a problem into perspective and enable you to move from confrontation without holding bitterness. Sometimes you go to the staff room and you go angry and somebody says kya hua, and you relate the angry instance. That person may just say, "Arey, aisa to nahi hua, at least it didn't happen like this," and you simply laugh it out. What that person has done is he has looked at the flip side of the problem or the challenge in hand. So laughter also helps you release anger and forgive sooner. So accept and adopt laughter into your life, because ultimately we are dealing with children who are the sweetest creation on planet Earth. And I guess we are so fortunate to be dealing with them. Right? So now I give you a quick plan which you can chalk down to shift from the stressful and become the stress-free. I have an individualized action plan. First, we have the daily activities, which includes all that I spoke today. We can adopt weekly activities where we commit ourselves to watch one good comedy movie every week. Even if there is no new release, go back and watch to the old ones. They really relax and tone you down to a great extent. You get up to be a very different person after having watched that. So I recommend one good comedy movie every week. Avoid watching too much of action and all those things. Bi-weekly activity. Bi-weekly means 15 days may once. Gossip for 5 minutes. Healthy gossip. Do not get too rude or too ugly on things. 5 minutes healthy gossip is good enough just to take an update on things. Monthly activity, read books on child psychology, because the more you understand children, the more they are closer to you, the more they are able to understand what you teach, and the more you are more successful as a teacher. Annual activity, review yourself and prepare to outperform yourself in the coming year. This is something which you must sit down and as you'll do your final result card, prepare even one for yourself and very honestly review what you have done. And you must prepare a plan ki up next year, how am I going to perform myself over my own performance. So don't try to compete with others. You are your best competition. You must try and make the best version of yourself every single year. Yes? Now, I would like to want you all to look at this little elephant. It is in a small cage, relatively very, very small for an elephant. But don't you see that it is so, so happy and gay? Similarly, many a times you feel caged in life. However caged you are, sure, circumstances are going to be difficult, but let's pledge to be as strong, as carefree, as happy as this huge elephant in this small cage. Let's pledge to make our lives joyful because life is too short to waste it on being stressed. With this, I would want you all to say, want to say you all a very big thank you for your patient listening. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a wonderful talk. Shweta, can you hear me?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And it is the need of the hour, not only for teachers, I think, for everyone. And I have learned a lot today. And now I will ask the teachers if you've got any questions and maybe what you liked about this. So I like 2, 3 things, especially that small baby elephant inside a cage, but he was very happy.
Okay.
So that's my takeaway. And others, please ask questions. Yes,
Shall I
Shanika.
ask the question, ma'am?
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay. Then, ma'am, that in Sri Lanka, one issue is that parental counseling, as example, mostly parents expect the letter writing for the children. They always say, please, please, teacher, they can't write and they can't read. And please, please pay your attention for this. But teachers focus holistic development. How can we face as preschool teacher? Then I want to ask from you, how can we face as preschool teacher to overcome parents' pressure?
The idea is age appropriate development and age appropriate exercises is something that I would recommend. So when we talk about, as you were saying about writing letters, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
you want to say letter writing.
Writing.
Yeah,
Right. So the thing is that there is a very different approach when it comes to written work. So
Yes.
when we talk about language acquisition, it is LSRW, where
Yes.
listening and speaking,
Yes.
then reading and writing. So writing is the most matured form of language acquisition, where we may feel that, okay, it is just to take a pencil and write an A. But the real process happens is that the child has to identify it, bring back it to its brain, comprehend it, bring those motor skills to their fingers, and then bring it. So it's a very complex tasks. And there have been various studies and various theories on when and how that the child should be put to write. But I believe that every child has his own pace. And what is more important is developing the child, as you said, holistically, and have the trust and the patience that eventually the child will learn to write. So if the child is normally listening, speaking, and probably age appropriately reading, we should be happy. And further down, the writing will happen. Probably the child is a little too small, and definitely he will catch up. But pressurizing sometimes can work on the reverse order. So this is what I would suggest.
Thank you, ma'am. Your explanation is very important for me. And another question, shall I ask from you?
I'm sure if the time permits, why not?
Yeah. The children addict to mobile phone now these times. Then how we can overcome this challenge, ma'am?
See, I'll give a very simple example.
Yeah.
when we go to a class, I don't know if you have observed, in the same classroom, one teacher's class, in one teacher, supposing there is a class, say, senior KG A division. When X teacher is in that classroom, there is a lot of chaos, movement, ye, wo. When Y teacher is in the same classroom, the students are actively learning, very obedient, very disciplined, lot of learning is happening. Now, what happens is that we need to be competent enough, have enough of matter and material that calls the interest of the child. And this is true with every age group. Today, I'm sure who are listening to me, who didn't find me interesting, would have coolly put off the laptops and gone because it was not of their interest. I'm the same person. There are few who have stayed glue, some who were there because, okay, they have to be there, they have committed. There will be different reasons. But at the same time, when I say the child is opting for a mobile instead of other things, is because he doesn't find the other things as interesting as a mobile. So we need to define, we need to come up. In fact, there was a very interesting event that I had conducted in my school, is that I had kept a play day with the parents, where with very, very simple like ball, paper cup, paper plate, not much of money to spend, but with these small, small things, there were a lot of small 1-2 minute games which brought physical agility, which brought a lot of mobility, which brought a lot of excitement in the children, and a lot of bonding between the parent and the child. So we need to sit and constructively devise, today what am I going to do with my child? It has to excite him. He has to engage himself in that. Like, even if I'm talking of a small thing like a small tennis ball, if you have in the house, there are 10 variations in which you can just spend that 100 rupees or 50 rupees on that ball, and 10 variations of games where the bonding between the parent and the child improves, where the mobile does not come into picture, and the gross motor skills, the fine motor skills, the agility, everything is improving in the children. All we need to do is consciously sit, list down कि क्या कर सकते हैं हम बच्चों के साथ apart from the mobile. And second thing is, I have also seen that parents are irresponsible. They say, okay, enough with the mobile, but they don't tell that to themselves. They are themselves with the mobile. So that is something which we ourselves have to have a self-control, so that it is established in them as well. If mama is not with the mobile, I'm not with the mobile, I'm with them and they are with me. Right? So, yeah,
Thank
that's
you,
it.
ma'am. Thank you. If
I
anyone
hope
want to ask the question, you can ask from ma'am.
You're not audible, madam.
Sorry. Want to ask the question? If you want to ask, you can ask the ma'am. Okay, I think.
what I'm telling that
The සිංහල
I would not,
හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක්
give-
අහන්න අපි ඒක translate කරන්න පුළුවන්.
hello,
Okay.
Shanika, can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I can hear
Have we
you.
run of time?
Yes. Okay, I can thanks for the ma'am that now.
No, first of
I
all,
was saying something.
Yeah.
let me talk.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So in the
Yeah.
beginning, I could not talk about the so good things done by Madam. So it is my
Yes.
duty that I should give all account of the work she has done for the teaching fraternity. So I'll be doing it in, first person. Okay. Is it okay, Shweta?
Absolutely,
The
madam.
lines,
No,
I'm going to
Yes.
read like that
Okay,
only.
ma'am.
I have dedicated nearly 20 years to education as an educator, around 10 years as a counseling psychologist. From my side, I'm saying that's great. And over 8 years as a trainer. So these days, the trainers, they are really doing so much. And that is why lots of, we can say, knowledge we can exchange. So that being trainer is also very good. And at the same time, I'm telling all the teachers who are present here that they should participate in asking questions and all, so that they can learn how to be a trainer, and who is better than today's trainer. I should compliment Shweta ji. And my experience spans from being a kindergarten teacher to a principal, right? At both school and junior college level. And additionally, which is very important, which I'm going to tell you, that she has authored educational books for kindergarten. So that's very important, because for your information, Shweta ji, mostly the ECC teachers are present here today. Am I right, Shanika? Shanika, are you listening to me?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So
Yeah.
many ECC teachers are there here. Am I right?
Yes.
And
Yes,
when I
yes, ma'am.
visited Sri Lanka
Yes.
recently, then
Yeah.
I think many pre-primary schools are there,
Yeah.
run by the people like all
Okay.
of us.
Yeah.
And her work focuses on mentoring and training teachers to help them stay updated with the latest trends in teaching, right? And she advocates for a holistic approach to education that consider all aspects of a child behavior and development. See, she's talking about the child's behavior and the development, not only that how to write and how to read, but how to behave also, how to handle the emotions. Am I right, Shweta ji?
Absolutely.
This is what you are doing. And lots, fostering students' potential and preparing them to face life's challenges. So the teachers and the students, if somebody guides you that how to face the life challenges, that is very important. Okay, reading books and writing, that is also very important. But more than that, these things are also very much important. So effective teaching, in her view, involves implementing diverse instructional strategies, different type of, collaborative and activity-based methods. And I tell you, Shweta ji, that Sri Lankan teachers are doing lots and lots of activities. And I'm really impressed and I appreciate them for that.
Thank
And
you, ma'am.
as an author, she strives to develop content that not only imparts knowledge, but also helps children build essential skills. So that is what, and she is going to train hundreds of teachers, students, and parents, contributing meaningfully to their personal and professional lives. So I want to just clap, and that is wonderful.
too.
We are very lucky to have her here today. And
Pleasure.
now, any questions or anything from someone, because I want the interactive thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much for your insightful presentation. We learned a lot from your lesson, and I truly appreciate the time and effort you put into that today's lesson. It was very informative and engaging. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. It was a valuable learning experience. And on behalf of all our Sri Lankan educators, I invite you to educate us through such a lesson, at least one per week, ma'am.
Okay, Shweta ji, you are listening?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we hope you so much.
Yes. We are lucky to have her here today.
Yes. Thank you,
And
ma'am.
again,
Thank you
I
so
want to
much.
say, I want to invite everyone to Mumbai. Shweta ji stays in Mumbai. And we'll try to meet her that day, like that time period, of 5-6 days here. So all of you come to Mumbai. How will it be, Shweta ji, to have all these people here?
Oh, it
And
would be
then-
wonderful. It would be a pleasure to have them all. Why not?
Yeah. And the exchange of knowledge which will happen.
Commendable.
How can you appreciate Mumbai? 2 minutes, 1 minute, you can tell them something about Mumbai.
Myself,
Yeah.
it's a place to be.
It's the place to be. Okay.
You
We
see
hope to come
Mumbai,
in.
if you have seen Mumbai, you have seen a lot of your life in the number of hours or the number of days that you have lived there. And it's a very enriching learning experience to be here.
Oh,
Wonderful people, wonderful places, wonderful food. Absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for appreciating Mumbai. And when I had gone to Sri Lanka, it was also wonderful.
I'm sure.
Thank
The
you.
pearl in the ocean, the pearl in the ocean was sparkling.
Wonderful.
Thank you. And now I think
Thank you
Shanika,
for this
thank you.
opportunity for, presenting myself as well as having an interaction with some wonderful people and giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much, Rashmiji. It's
Thank
wonderful.
you so much. Thanks for your
Thank you. And
time
it was
to
a
us.
pleasure
and
being
your
here.
knowledge.
Thank you,
And
ma'am. Thank you. Good night,
I
ma'am.
hope the time has been well spent.
Okay.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Thank you.
Certainly, 100%.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure's been mine. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, Shanika.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you
night.
so much. Nice meeting you. Looking forward to another, date like this.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.